I am Carol Harvey, Bay Area investigative reporter. I made a copy and edited the following original video. The original video is the intellectual property of the Center for Investigative Reporting, CIR. Find it online at this YouTube link. Parts of the original video accompanied a presentation by investigative reporters Matt Smith and Catherine Muskowski at the Commonwealth Club in San Francisco, June 3, 2014. Secrets of Treasure Island, Uncovering the Navy's Radioactive Legacy. CIR's video is presented for completeness and clarity. In 1946, the United States Navy conducted atomic bomb testing at the Bikini atoll in the Pacific Islands. The purpose of Operation Crossroads was to test the effect of radioactive bomb blasts on naval vessels. Those radioactive ships were returned to Hunters Point and Treasure Island in the Bay Area, where the Navy attempted to clean and overhaul them. A Navy colonel's daughter reads his reaction to walking around on one of these radioactive ships. CIR's YouTube comment states Nicholas Kane, then an Air Force lieutenant colonel, attended the radiological training school on Treasure Island in 1948. He described the training ship USS Independence in a letter. It was scarred and twisted and misshapen from the atomic bomb test at Bikini. CIR presents footage of the actual atom bomb tests. Sailors hunkered down and covered their heads. Glasses were supposed to protect their eyes. Idling Navy ships are coated inside and out with radioactive fallout. Some ships sail to the San Francisco Bay Area. One is converted into a nuclear warfare training facility. That converted training ship, the USS Independence, was berthed at Treasure Island.
My father's name was Nicholas Kane, and he was a colonel, and he attended one of the first classes in the Navy Radiation Defense Laboratory in Treasure Island. He was there to study the effects of radiation and to learn about radiation from the atomic bombs. March 1948, a group has spent the morning on the battered aircraft carrier Independence. Scarred and twisted and misshapen from the atomic bomb tests at Bikini, this abandonment brought very little data to the problems of radioactivity. They wore special clothing, badges to monitor how much they were exposed to. In fact, he jokingly said, I would have loved to have some of the furniture that was on the ship, but it was so contaminated that there was no way they could be taken off the ships. When he started getting ill, I was concerned, was there a relationship between his cancer and his exposure? I didn't know anything about radiation except, taking an x-ray. I wrote a letter to my congressman. The letter came back.
Sandra Marlow wrote to Edward Kennedy of Massachusetts. They said radiation readings were taken after decontamination.
Stated that there was minimal, if any, radiation levels on the ships that were brought back from Crossroads, or the ship that the men had been studying on. Well, I might not be a scientist, but something about it bothered me so much that I started doing research. The government did send me a listing of the ships that were decontaminated, but that listing that was sent to me differed from the listing that I found in some of the declassified and secret documents. What was going on at the Navy radiation labs? Where can I get information? The responses were, we don't have that information anymore, or the information has been changed. And it was confusing. From then on, the search for information about what radiation was doing to the soldiers and to the people became the most important part of my entire life. I was hurt. I couldn't get an honest answer from any agency within the United States government. And I've realized as I became more active with the Atomic Veterans Group that other people had the same experience. There seems to have been some kind of motivation for withholding this information that I don't quite understand.
Sandra Marlow spent 20 years researching the connection between the Navy's atomic operations and diseases affecting thousands of personnel. In September 2012, cleanup officials asserted that decontaminated ships were berthed at Treasure Island. As of the year 2021, the Navy denies that contaminated ships were berthed at Treasure Island. 2 years later, in 1950, the Navy documented a disaster. 40 milligrams of radium spilled on a lab floor at a radiation school housed in Building 233. The cleanup generated more than 200 barrels of radioactive waste out of Building 233. The Independence was moored a block away at Clipper Cove. Somehow, the drums found their way onto the Independence, and the Independence found its way to Hunters Point Naval Station, where the barrels were weighted with concrete and sunk at sea over 100 fathoms deep at the current Monterey National Marine Sanctuary, not the Farallone Islands, as the Navy claims. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration NOAA divers filmed the Independence sunk near the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. The C and E in the word independence are visible in this shot.